Welcome back, casual collectors. I'm Steel Wolf,
And Spider Kid.
and today we're bringing you a review of a classic older item from Disney's Galaxy's Edge, the Jedi Holocron. Now, this item is exclusive to Disneyland, specifically in Galaxy's Edge, and you can pick it up at Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities.
So we picked this up for $49.99, and you do get a 20% discount if you have a magic key.
Now, you would normally find this thing on the wall right across from where you pick up the lightsabers, and you basically just pick the one you want. And on the left side they have the Jedi Holocrons, on the right side they have the Sith Holocrons. Once you grab one, you take it to the cash register, and once you pay for it, they'll give you your carrying bag, which is what you see here, and within that bag there will be a micro USB cable to charge your Holocron, and a small little instruction booklet that basically tells you how to charge it, how to insert the crystals, and how to activate it as well.
Alright, let us get this relic out of the bag and let's take a closer look. Alright, so before we actually show the Holocron, let's take a closer look at the bag. Now, first impressions look pretty cool. So the outside of the bag does feel like fox leather. And you see it is Black Spire Outpost right here in a nice font of Star Wars. There's not really much to it, just that. Not really much on the back. It does have the pull string, so all you gotta do is just pull them to tighten it up. And then just do that to open it back up. And if you guys are wondering about the micro USB, it's just a standard normal one and there's nothing really special to it. Okay, so here's the Holocron out of the bag. Okay, so as to here, I really love all the gold that's on this. It looks nice, it looks metallic also. And you see the light right there, it is pretty reflective. Now same thing right here, this is where the micro USB will go into to charge it. Same thing with this. And this side. And yeah, it's all basically the same pattern. Alright, there's one really cool feature about this, is that you can actually turn it on. So all you gotta do to turn it on is just do this, turn to one side, and then
Alright, that was pretty cool. So let's do that one more time here, but with these lights dimmed. And again, like Spider Kid mentioned, all you do is basically you're going to twist the top, just like that, and then you're going to twist the bottom here as well. And that's going to activate it. And there you go. I mean, that looks pretty cool if you ask me. I mean, I like the little sound effects. That sounds pretty cool. It looks intricate. On the camera, the LEDs don't look too bright, but in person, they are a little more brighter. And just to mention, though, we do still have lights on in here. That's probably why it doesn't look so bright. But let's try to get it a little bit darker. There you go. That looks a lot better. So yeah, that's pretty freaking cool. Now, aside from it doing this, it also has another feature. If you notice here, this looks like a little dot there, but it's not noticeable on this side. And that's because if you place your fingers on each dot, it actually activates a hidden message. And that's going to sound and look a lot like this.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place.
And there you go, Obi-Wan's secret message. Now there is 2 more messages that he does play before it begins to loop. So it's a total of 3 messages. So let's hear the second one here.
This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed. And our future is uncertain.
That's number 2, and for the last one here.
We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere, and in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you, always.
And that's the last one. Now if we do it one more time, it's just going to loop back to the first one.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order
and then just to turn it off, you basically just twist these guys back into place the way they were, and it'll shut down, as you can see. So yeah, pretty neat. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's definitely a prop. It's not something you're going to play with all the time. I think it looks cool the way it is. When it's activated, it looks even better. The fact that there's a hidden message is even cooler. I think that's very cool. Now, there is a Sith one as well. And again, this isn't something new. It's been out for quite some time, you know, but I know that not everybody goes to Disney, not everybody watches these things. So, but anyway, let's continue with this guy here. So aside from doing that, there's also another thing that you can do. Now, whether you've purchased a Savi's lightsaber and picked out a crystal for yourself, or whether you go to Doc Ondar's and you see these little capsules here, these are your Kyber crystals. Not only do they work with the Savi lightsabers, but they also work with your holocron. Specifically with this Jedi Holocron, you're going to get the green that works, the yellow, the purple, the blue, and also the white. And those will all work with this Jedi Holocron here. Now, the red crystals will not work completely on the Jedi one. They will work only partially. Now, same thing goes with the Sith Holocron. The Jedi crystals will only work partially with those. But we're going to demonstrate here just a few for you guys in case you guys have never seen this or heard this before. So first things first, you're going to need one of these crystals. Just so you can see, this is the green one. Here we have a white one. And if you notice, there is differences between the color caps here. The reason why is because the silver one is going to be your basic Kyber crystal that's going to belong to a specific Star Wars character. Now, the reason why this one's in gold is because these are kind of used as magic 8-balls. When you put this Kyber crystal into the holocron itself becomes kind of like a magic 8-ball where you can ask a question and none other than Yoda himself will give you the answer to your question. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, besides the Yoda, there is also one more Kyber crystal that can turn your holocron into a magic 8-ball, and that is the Darth Vader one. So when you put this guy into the Sith holocron, it's going to turn your Sith holocron into a Vader magic 8-ball. So let's go ahead and start with this white one here. We're going to just basically twist off the cap, and again, these do not come with this holocron. These guys are sold separately unless you purchased it with your Savi's custom lightsaber. Here we have the crystal itself. Let's try that again. Here we have the crystal itself. Pretty neat, nothing too special about it, you know. It's basically got that RFID technology inside there. That's basically what it is. Now, to access this guy, to put it inside, there's a little tiny hidden compartment here. So if you look up here, this is the top of it. If you look up here, you see there's like this little indent right there where you can kind of put your nail under there and just kind of pry it open. There we go. And if you can see, that little spot there is going to be for your crystal. We're just going to basically place the crystal inside, push this back in, you're going to hear a little click, and it's ready to go. So now, instead of hearing Obi-Wan Kenobi, we're going to actually hear whose ever Kyber crystal that belongs to. So let's go ahead and dim these lights and listen into the message. So to place this crystal inside and to have it actually react to the crystal is we're going to go ahead and pull this compartment open, and we're going to place the crystal inside. Once it's inside, we're going to push it in. And right away, we can see that not only did it make a sound effect to acknowledge that it's in there, but it also changed colors. So now that we can see that it's activated, responding to that crystal, let's go ahead and activate the hidden message.
My master was an unconventional Jedi. I followed his lead, which wound up saving my life.
And yep, that was Ahsoka Tano.
When I was young, I was reckless. Being a fugitive taught me patience. I learned to watch, to wait, and to trust the Force.
And I believe she might have one more message.
May the Force be with you. When I was young, I was reckless. Being a fugitive taught me patience.
Alright, so it looks like it just loops back. Now let's go ahead and pop in this green one here that belongs to Yoda, and let's see how this guy turns into a magic 8-ball. So here we go. And there it is, as you can see. That green just looks very cool, I think. I think it looks awesome. Let's go ahead and activate it and see what happens.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
One more time.
It is the will of the Force. Meditated on this question I have. My answer is no.
So as you can see, he's basically answering questions. So let's go ahead and ask him a question. What do you think we should ask him, Spider Kid?
If we're ever going to get to 1,000 subscribers.
I can answer that one. I don't think we are. Let's see what he says. All right, Yoda, do you think we're ever going to get to 1,000 subscribers?
Yes.
You serious?
But yeah, there you go. So that's basically what it does. It just kind of acts as a magic 8-ball, which is kind of neat. You know, it definitely gives the Holocron another feature that it can have. So I think that's pretty cool. And again, if you have the Sith Holocron, the Darth Vader one here will do the same thing, but for your Sith one. Now let's go ahead and see what happens when we put that Darth Vader crystal in here. There we go. So it definitely lights up red, which looks pretty intense. I think that looks pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and see and activate this guy and see what kind of message we get.
Adventure. Excitement. A Jedi craves not these things. You are reckless.
So you basically get Master Yoda scolding you for trying to use a Sith Kyber crystal in a Jedi Holocron. Let's see what else he has to say.
Attachment leads to jealousy. The shadow of greed, that is.
Alright, let's see if he has one more thing to say.
Careful you must be when sensing the future. The fear of loss is a path to the dark side.
Let's see, maybe one more? Let's see.
If you end your training now, if you choose the quick and easy path, as Vader did, you will become an agent of evil.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. He had 4 responses in comparisons to the other crystals that had only 3. Now, I know that the different red crystals, there are different ones that represent different characters, so just because it's red doesn't mean that it's always going to be Darth Vader. It could be other characters as well. Same goes with the green ones and also the blue ones. So, and I believe there's about 15 different characters that you can collect. Obviously, you're going to have multiple of the same colors, but again, they're going to be different characters as well. So one more feature about this guy here is that if you do happen to have both the Jedi and the Sith Holocron, they do interact together, which will reveal additional messages. Then you activate them and then they will reveal what they have to reveal. And in that instruction booklet, it kind of shows you a little diagram on how that works. So if you have the same color Kyber crystals, you know, don't get too upset about it because they will do different things with your Holocron. So that's kind of the upside about it. And not to mention, if you have your Savi's lightsaber, they'll change the colors of that particular lightsaber. So final thoughts. This is really cool. It's affordable at $50, especially if you have your Magic Key discount. It brings them down to about 40 bucks, and that's not too bad at all. I mean, I think that's a good price for this prop. It's not the best, you know. It feels a little bit loose on these pieces here when you turn them, but it's nothing too crazy. I mean, just sitting there right now looks awesome. But I like the fact that it lights up, it turns on, it's interactive with other crystals that they saw at the park, you know, so it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I agree. I really like how it works with the Savi's lightsaber. So if you collect every lightsaber with every crystal and you don't know what to do with your other crystals, you can just buy this and you can have your own type of fun. Overall though, that does bring me to one bad thing about it, and it's the fact that depending on what type of thing you're going for, like if you're only collecting the crystals to get the Holocron, to make it like the whole thing, or even for a lightsaber, you have to spend a lot of money, and we all know how expensive Disney could get with their stuff, so it's really hard trying to get all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that the Kyber crystal is selling for about $17 now. I recall that when I bought a Kyber crystal, it was quite some time ago, and I believe it was only like $13 at the time, but then they raised the prices. So yeah, that can get very hefty in price, especially if you buy more than one. Alright, and it's that time again for our rating. And as always, you can see that rating right there on the left. And I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a rating of... And again, I think it's a cool piece. I like the interactiveness of it. I like the way you get different messages, and they're all actual Star Wars characters, voiced by familiar actors that portray those Star Wars characters. And not only that though, but the crystals also interact. So if you already have a crystal, you're good to go. If you want to be a completionist and get them all, you also have that option. But not only will those crystals work with the Holocron, they're also going to work with your Savi's lightsaber. Although it looks cool, it doesn't feel too solid. I mean, it still feels a little flimsy in a way. And like I said, it's mainly these things here, these little triangles, feel a little flimsy. And I feel that although the paint apps are nice, I like that goldish sheen, and I love that turquoise blue. I feel that it doesn't have a realistic look to it. It almost looks kind of cartoony in a way.
Plastic in a way.
Yeah, a little more plasticky, cartoony. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting based off the colors that they did. If it had more of a realistic look, I think that would have made it easier to be okay with the price.
The rating I would give it would be... Now again, I really like the whole concept of that you can use the crystals for multiple uses. It doesn't have to be for one thing. But I like it because a lot of cosplayers can use it to their advantage. Mostly I know I had a fun time using this when we were taking pictures, and it would look just well with anything. It's like any futuristic steampunk type like style. And again, with all the playability that you have with it, you can really bring your character or whatever cosplay you're doing to life. The only problem with it is again the price, but it's mainly the price with all the crystals together. And it's really, really annoying and hard to find the right crystal you're looking for. Because I have a Savi's Workshop lightsaber. I've been trying to find a very specific crystal, which is either Anakin's or Obi-Wan's. And it was really hard just trying to find one of those.
Yeah, and unlike these guidance crystals here that turn the holocron into a magic 8-ball, and the thing is with these, they actually show you who's represented by this crystal. Now, if they'd only done that with the rest of the other ones, where they would put the characters on the vials, that would have been great, but they didn't. And that's what I think Spider-Kid's trying to say, is that they're just milking you for your money.
Yeah. I mean, there's one thing I can understand about that also is that you wanted to make it feel real as possible, so you wouldn't want to put the character's likeness on the actual packaging itself.
Well, I get realism, but my wallet would have appreciated knowing what character is what. Alright, and that's going to do it for our review on the Disneyland Galaxy's Edge Jedi Holocron. I'm Steel Wolf.
And Spider-Kid.
Continue collecting, and remember, stay casual.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed, and our future is uncertain. We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere, and in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you.